In this tutorial, I'll show you the analysis tools within Revit. On your toolbar, you'll have an Analyze. If you're not in Revit Structure, this will be in a different spot. But under Analyze, there'll be several pieces that we will look at today. One of them is loads, also the load combinations, and then boundary conditions. Once those are set, then we'll send it over here to Robot Structure. So starting off, if you look at the analytical model, so if you go in your 3D view, you'll see an analytical model for your beams and your columns. These analytical models show the structural components of each of these models. If there's no analytical model for one of your beams or your columns, it means that you're not actually using a structural member in there, and you'll need to replace those in your framing plan. Now, with these, once they're all connected like so, we'll need to set the boundary conditions. Boundary conditions, as you can see here, you can set a point, line, and area. For this task, we'll just use points here. And you can see once I've selected point here, in my properties I have this fixed option. This can be changed to pinned, roller, or user defined. So at the base I want to keep them fixed. This isn't actually completely true, but we'll just fix the base here on these guys. Now each of these points where there's connections is called a node, and so there's a node at the base of this column here. There's a node at the connection with the beam and the columns. Each of these need to be defined by a boundary condition. Now these other ones, I'm going to have it user specified. And here, once it's in user specified, you can change the translation and the rotation. Translation is just movement in a specific axis, in the direction of the axis. And so we're going to release all these for translation. And the rotation is not a deflection, but obviously a rotation in the direction of that axis, or around that axis. So we'll set all these to release. This allows motion in each of the 6 axes with rotation and translation. So I can come in here and you can see that the icon for this will be different than the other one. So this allows movement in all directions for each of these nodes connecting the beams and the columns. Once that's set, I can go back to my Analyze and I can check supports and give a consistency check. Actually, I need to escape out of that before those come through. And everything looks okay. So that is for setting the boundary conditions. Next thing I'll do is look at loads.